Okay, why am I standing here? There is a sign signpost in front of a brand new build. What the heck is this video about? So this is a brand new build built by a investor that I know, and the listing is canceled. And if you are a homeowner and time's running out, and why is your house is not sold, and why it's a beautiful house. It's all done. It's all brand new. Everything is ready to go. So I want to walk inside. It's kind of hot here, but agents, okay? Why are you letting your deal expired or canceled? Why are you not selling them? Well, there's a few things that we'll discuss, but you know, this is going to be house number 4, my wife and I, that we're going to list in this situation. And the first question is, you know, is it the price? Majority of the time, yes, it is the price. Not in this situation though. I'll go and explain all of that as we go. So I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna sit down and put my camera down and just kind of talk to you. Sorry about the camera movement and all that stuff. I don't edit. And I'm just gonna talk to you just like one-on-one. Okay, so now this is a beautiful house, fully staged, all this stuff, and why it's not selling. Okay, there's a lot of little things that I'm gonna start posting, or I'm gonna start putting little pictures that I've shot, and just kind of, you know, make my point. Okay. And maybe I'll walk around, point them out, but we'll see how that goes. Now, okay, the parameter of this property is this is a brand new house. If somebody comes in here and buy this house, there's nothing they don't need to be worried about anything. Everything's new. Stuff's under, you know, yeah. The big deal is like, okay, the roof, okay, that's brand new. You probably don't need to worry about it for another 20, 25 years. Okay, and that's another discussion, like, you know, what the insurance company is willing to accept and all that stuff. That's another thing. HVAC, everything, you name it, everything's brand new. No one ever lived here before. So if it's at $350 a square foot, just like all of the houses or majority of the houses around here, why is not selling? Well, the value is there, and when you work out the number is correct. Okay, what's the problem is there's and it's not, you know, it's not even the marketing. The marketing of this property, as far as the owner, and he's a personal friend of mine as well, he got lots of showing, but no one's pulling the trigger. And the thing is, you know, everybody's like, oh my God, you know, the market is softening. Yes, okay, maybe. It's not. I mean, the market is softening, but you don't need the whole entire market to buy this house. You just need that one person. And if it's priced right, there's something else. Okay, it's the interest rate. I know most of my videos, I always have to address these points because most people think that is the problem. Well, yes and no. Okay, mortgage rate, interest rate, certainly affects the entire industry as a whole. Okay, total sales will be lower or slower, houses stay on the market longer, all that stuff is true. I'm not gonna argue with that. But if the house down the street is selling at this price, at this rate, and this house is just got canceled, why the heck's that? Okay? Now, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna walk around and maybe, okay, I'm gonna point out, and I'm gonna do some photos at the end and give you some details. There's a gap, okay, up there. If you see it, it looks like a light bar. Well, if I look up there, it looks like it's not cared for. You need some caulking, that's it, okay? Now buyers walk around the house and they're like, oh, you know, online, on the beautiful pictures, online by the way, they hire a photographer and it got people to show up. But when they show up, they're gonna start looking around. They're like, oh my God, okay, so not to be, you know, obnoxious or rude, but there's a saying, you know, it looks good from far, but far from good. This is not far from good. It's good, but it needs to be tightened up a little bit, just a little bit. So, you know, I love spending time in the kitchen, and me, I am very, very handy, and these little things doesn't bother me at all. But let me tell you, if somebody go and pull the brand new washing machine, dishwasher, and notice that it's not even attached, okay? They're gonna say, oh my God, this is sloppy work. I can't spend $500,000 if they don't do these little things. What else are they not doing? And the guy goes, say, you know what, let me take a look down here. And this thing is at the right place, but it's not really attached. Are these little things matter? Not really. I mean, you know, you can take care of all of that stuff. But as a buyer, you don't know, right? You don't know until you move in, and then, or you're gonna get a home inspection. I highly recommend home inspection. Doesn't care. I don't care what condition of the house is, brand new or not. Get an inspection, okay? That's done. Now, you walking around and the homeowner the builder done their homework. They bought the lot, they tore it down, they cleaned everything up, they put a brand new house on at $350 a square foot, finished, ready to go. They're gonna make a nice deal on it. I mean, a nice return on it. And for some reason it doesn't sell, and then they wonder why. Okay? So let's just keep walking, and I'm gonna tell you why. The reason I said that is they do their homework and they know the value that's on this house. If you can make it nice and clean and ready to go at $350 a square foot, you're gonna sell it. Why not? Why don't people buy a brand new house at the same price, a square footage, as an older house down the street? Because there's a lot of older homes down the street here that's selling at that price per square foot. Different size house, but when you break it down, it's about the same thing. Okay, here's the reason why. You get them here because of the beautiful pictures, but then they notice stuff, and it raises a red flag. They're like, what is going on with this place? Now, as an investor, the investors say, you know what? So what if the floor is dirty? They can clean it up. True. But these kind of things actually make the buyer not wanting to pull the trigger. Okay, I'm gonna point it down here, like there. I'm gonna post some pictures, close-up pictures, so you can see what I'm talking about. But this whole floor is filthy. And it's a nice shower. But, you know, all that grout all around there is not even. And all of that grout, all of the stuff, I'm gonna keep posting. I'm gonna put some pictures on there so you can see. And I see, you know, just in the closet, there's like stains. This is a brand new house. Nobody had never been here before. I mean, nobody ever lived here before. Excuse me. But, you know, the color combination is great. You know, you got this creative, beautiful pattern on the floor. But this little things. So in behind this handle, there you go. Clean that up. You know, there's chips. There's chips. So this is what I'm talking about. The value of this property. Now, as an agent, you got to know this. Okay? Don't let your deals get not sold and get canceled and not, you know, lose out on it, and you lose out on the deal. There's so many agents that I know, and they put a lot of time into getting clients, but once they get the listing, they run out, they put the sign on, and you never see them again. And you know, you just schedule showing online, and the seller actually went through and actually, you know, staged this whole place, and it's beautifully staged. And yet, the listing is canceled. Now, there's enough people come through here all the time, checking out the place, so the buyers are there. Okay, the number is right, because why? Before the buyers get off their butts, get out of their, you know, in front of their computer, get in the car, lugging the kids in so many ways, come to this location to check out this house. They've done the numbers, trust me. They know how much they can afford, okay? They know how much they down payment, they know the area, obviously. They're not gonna just pick any random area. They're gonna know, they know the school, they know all this stuff. Buyers are very, very knowledgeable nowadays. They're not like before where they're gonna lean a lot onto the agent, because the buyer's agent can, you know, buyer agent, their hands are tied too, because, you know, you can't steer and all this other rules that the agent has to kind of, you know, stay within. I'm not gonna talk about that either, but the reason why this property is not sold is this perceived value. When the buyer going through a buying process, okay, first they got to get qualified and, you know, going through all this difficult things to make sure they got their money lined up and make sure they're, you know, they look good on paper and all that stuff. You know, it takes them a while. I mean, the process of doing that doesn't take a lot, but the mental part, where what, you know, what it takes for them to be ready to start shopping is a long process for some people, okay? So when they show up and look at this thing, it's gorgeous, okay? It's a beautiful house. And by the way, all the windows are storm windows, new codes, brand new everything, obviously. When you do build a new house, there is all the permits. So the city, the county, where it depends on where you live, they all came and they inspect the foundation before you can, put the walls up, and they inspect the walls, all that stuff before you can close the wall up. Before you close the wall, they check the plumbing, and all of those things are done. Okay, now the buyers come in, and the first thing they walk in, and the floors, it doesn't show up here, but it's dirty, all dusty, and people, previous people walk through it, and it's just footprints everywhere. Now, if you have a house and you're gonna say, whoa, is this floor hard to clean? I mean, is my house gonna look like that every time, months from now? You can see the footprints, okay? Those footprints right there, okay? Now, and this is what they do. Oh, that's a nice bathroom, right? And they let go. And the door is starting to swing close all by itself. That particular door it was just hung wrong. They need to adjust that. Like, it doesn't happen with this door. This door stays wherever you put it. This door is hung correctly. And so is all the other doors. But this one, now it causes a red flag, So things like that. Things like, okay, this is a nice brand new garage, but why is all this stuff here? Has the person lived here and worked here just because, I don't know, maybe it's just a place to put stuff, but you can't do that at the new house, okay? And there's like a ding there on the door. Well, enough of these many little things. The buyer is gonna say, you know what? Let's just take a look at another place. Women are really good at this. Guys are not. They just walk in and it's like, it's something about this house. It just feels not correct, or it just feels, can't put my finger on it, but women notice things. They walk through the place and they just get that sense. And that's the vibe, okay? And I'm not here to trash this house. I'm listening, my wife and I, we're gonna help the seller, and we're gonna make sure that we remove this vibe of something's wrong with this house vibe. That's what it's having. And that's not something that somebody can put the finger on. They can walk through and they're gonna say, you know what? It looks good, but I don't know why I don't like it anymore. I can't put my finger on it. It's staged, but then, little details like this, they glue that threshold down, but the glue is messy. Is that a deal breaker? I don't think so, okay? But is it a deal preventer? Yes. It prevents people from pulling the trigger. And this is when I have the conversation with the seller. The seller busts out the sheet and say, look, I've done my homework on this place, and similar homes selling for this price. I'm willing to go even less than that if you get the right buyer in here. So then I'm saying, look, I'm not going to argue with you about the numbers. We all know numbers don't lie. But there's the vibe to this. There's a gap there. Okay? And the gap's not even, that's the problem. So if you have a gap, if it's a gap, it's just a nice even gap, it doesn't bother some people. But if you have a gap on one side and not a gap on the other side, that bothers to some people. It's a mental thing, it's a psyche thing, because buyers, once they got a lot of the details worked out as far as the lot size, the size of the house, the color of the house, and all this other stuff that you know, they've gone through. Now, their whole entire focus is looking for red flags. And they don't spend a lot of time here, right? So they're gonna glaze through all the pretty things because they have seen the pictures and all that stuff. And 90% of the time, you hire a photographer that makes the place look great. And that's another issue, by the way. If you make the property look so amazing online, you will get a lot of people here. But if they show up and it doesn't look like it's online, they're gonna leave. And they're gonna leave angry. They're gonna say, you guys are kind of, you know, tricked me into coming here and waste my time and, you know, take time out of work or whatever. So all the buyers do is they know they got all their ducks in a row. Now they just don't want to get fooled. And then they're gonna walk around and start looking. And they're gonna scrutinize every single little thing. And then every little thing, it's gonna be, aha, see, I told you so. And here's the other thing. I see, like, the wife loves the place and the husband doesn't like the place. And the husband walking around finding every single thing wrong with the house. And they will fight about it. And it becomes such a pain point that they walk away from the deal. It's like, you know, so you have to remove all of those issues. So the husband or the wife can't go, aha, look, I'll show you. You see those bulbs up there? Those are LED bulbs that are really cheap. You know, change them. Put them nicer bulbs on there, like that. We don't want those outside. Okay? Those bulbs. Put some nice Edison ambient bulb, whatever they're called. Put them on there. I mean, this house is quality. It's a storm-proof, modern-looking house, and I can tell the quality here is not bad. But because the contractor or the owner does not bring this all the way to the finish line, okay? And there are just residue all over this place. That's just a razor blade. About a few minutes, go through all of this and just make sure that, all right, here you go. I don't know, you can see that? Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. We walk through the place and we touch everything. We feel everything. And if I look at my hand and it's not clean, I'm like, these people just don't really care. okay? And that's the thing of it, is you can buy, people buy houses all stages of, running down, house that falling down with half of the roof is attached, the other half of the roof is like got blown away. Well, they expected that. That's their expectation going into it, and they know it. They say, okay, I'm gonna do this or that to the house, it doesn't matter, or I'm gonna, and that boils down to the price, right? Well, when somebody looking for a brand new house, they want a brand new house. They want everything to be done and everything done correctly, and feel like they're not gonna be surprised later on and be like, oh my God, here's another thing. So along the line over here, okay, along the grout line is already cracked. Not because the house is shifting or anything. It's just not enough grout in there. And when it dries, it leaves the hairline crack. So that's not enough, maybe just a thin caulking or something like that. But that's what it is, okay? As an agent, don't let this happen to you. Don't just list the property and hope for the best, okay? And then what happens? The agent usually blames the owner, or they blame the market. But that's not true. As an agent, you gotta be able to point these things out. You gotta have a heart-to-heart talk with the seller and say, hey, listen, we need to do this. But if you don't notice this stuff, well, it's the agent's fault. It's your fault that your deal is being canceled. Okay, that's how it is. So, anyways, during this whole thing, I'm gonna, like I said, they have 2 or 3 more houses. Those other ones are not brand new built. They just flips and similar issues. So I'm gonna make videos on that as well, and I'm gonna post them right over here so you guys can see it. So anyways, if you are an agent that has these kind of issues right now, or you're a seller of you own a house and your contract is coming up and it's going to be expired, or you're just so frustrated, you want to cancel the thing. Yeah, I mean, you should. Contact me. I'll be happy to just kind of go through it, and you don't have to hire me or anything like that, but I'm just going to point out why the property is not sell. Maybe the price is too high. And at the end of the day, when you really break it all down to it, this house is in the right price, but if you lower it enough, somebody will buy it. But why take that big of a haircut or losing on the price when you price it right? You just need to market it better. You need just the one buyer. That's it. All right, so click on those videos and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.